Okay. I'm on the
Oh, do we want to start with the show match thing on?
I'm on the YouTube. I don't know. This is what I have. Loopy said to just check that. Go on YouTube. Make sure it's up and running.
I'm
Hey,
on
we're
the.
live.
Oh, do
Okay,
we want to start with the show
shutting that
match
up.
thing on?
Nope.
Awesome.
Hey everyone. Welcome. You can see Loopy's not here today. That's because he is in the show match. I'm Jonathan Fisher with Bothan Network, and this is Jeff with Bothan Network. Hey Jeff.
Hey, Jonathan. Great to be here. How you doing today?
Yeah, good. Excited to do this. So let's jump right in. Today we've got Phil from Bothan Network playing Obi-Wan Kenobi on Energy Conversion Lab. What do you think about this deck?
This deck looks really cool. I'm looking forward to see how useful Obi is, especially on his deployed unit side. The being able to ping things we've seen has been really important so far in set 3. I really like the full playset of General Recon with ECL. When you get to ECL him in, give him Sentinel, give something else Sentinel, give experience tokens. It gets really cool really quick. And then he's just got the standard blue hero top end, along with U-wing reinforcement. So really cool looking deck.
Yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong with Luke's. Home one, great top end. I see two Perilous Position. Been loving
hmm
that card, so a little surprised to see only two. We'll see how that plays out.
Well,
Um,
I think at least a little bit of this was Phil knowing that he's going up against Maul, so he's probably expecting some kind of large late game villain units, which is
yep.
why you see the full playset of Fell the Dragon, you see 2 Rivals Falls. So he probably just decided to switch up his removal a bit. He also obviously has a one of Hello there because you're playing Obi-Wan, so you have to play
You
Hello
have
there.
to. You have to. Yes. Do we think? What do we think about this heal ability on Obi Wan? Is it going to come in often? Do we expect it to do much?
it, I think I think it's possible that it can, because specifically when you're playing against Maul, you've got things like Fallen Lightsaber that likes to throw 1 damage around. You're probably gonna have force throws, so you may have this extra damage that you want to be healing. It could be spare damage from overwhelming barrage. So the heal
Yeah.
could come up on the leader side. I expect it to be more useful when he's deployed on the unit side, because then you get to also ping something and Obi can heal himself and he's a big sentinel.
Yeah.
But it depends on if Phil can get these big sentinels going and trying to stop what Loopy's doing.
Let's look at Loopy's deck. Good transition. So Loopy's playing Maul on Energy Conversion Lab, so two Energy Conversion Lab decks. Let's
hmm
jump into this one. What do you think, Jeff?
This deck is really cool. I've played around a lot with Maul. He's a really fun leader. You get to do things like the B1 attack platform, just a 3 cost 5/2. When you give it Overwhelm, it gets a lot better, uh, obviously. But at the same time, it's really vulnerable to turn 1 plays, to Perilous Position, and things like that.
Yep.
You've got Darth Maul unit, which with Darth Maul leader works exactly the way the Darth Maul player wants it to. So if you attack, let's say for example, you have a Darth Maul, give it Overwhelm and attack 2/1/1s, you deal 8 damage to the base because Darth Maul overwhelms over each of the units he attacks.
Yep.
So when you see the full copy of 3 Fallen Lightsabers, along with Maul leader giving Maul unit overwhelm, you can do a lot of damage in one attack.
Yeah, in my practice session so far, I've also been really impressed with Energy Conversion Lab combined with Maul. Even
hmm
before the flip, even without that overwhelm, it can if it
Yeah,
can take out two units and still be on the board. That's really powerful.
yeah. I would expect Loopy's deck to use Energy Conversion Lab better than Phil's, because you have even ECLing in Kylo Ren, where you get to pump something, potentially pump himself on attack. ECL in Maul to kill 2 things like we talked about. Even the old classics that never get old of ECL and a super laser tech, right? Like Loopy's
Yeah.
got a lot of options with this ECL.
I'm excited to see Force Lightning. It's a card I want to see more of, so I'm glad
Oh
to see it
yeah,
here.
I love Force Lightning.
So here's the standings right now. We've got late night gaming. It's Loopy's job now to put some points on the board there. I think he might get some. I really like his chances here. And we've got
Yeah.
5 points for Bothan Network, 6 points for Maclunky Gaming. And these
Yeah,
are
so
these are
really
game
interesting here.
counts.
So that this is the last game of the show match right now. So if Bothan Network wins exactly 1 game in this, so if Loopy wins 2-1, then we're gonna have to go to a tiebreaker captain show match, where the captains of each team or their delegates choose any set 3 leader to do battle. So, as much as I want a Bothan Network win, I would also kind of like to have an extra show match.
Yeah. We're okay. So Phil, get at least one, brother.
Exactly. We need Phil to get exactly one.
Yeah, get exactly one. All right, let's go. I'm gonna tell the players to roll off, and we'll get this started. I'll be right back.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, boys, roll off.
All right.
Good luck. Here we go.
And while we're waiting for the match to start, everybody don't forget to like, comment on the video, and subscribe to Late Night Gaming. They are an amazing channel with amazing people. So throw them all the support that you can.
Absolutely. I mean, even right now, what you're watching now, Loopee got on early and helped us set this up, taught us how to run it. So hopefully it goes without any kinks, but it's all him putting in his time helping us out. So this is great.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So who won the die roll? Did you see?
They both have coins on their mat, so I don't know. Loopee's is in the initiative spot, so I think he might have won the die roll. Looks like Phil's taking a mulligan.
Yep. Okay.
And then I wouldn't be surprised if the early game doesn't matter as much with these decks. You see a lot of the standards. You see Battlefield Marines, you see Death Star Stormtroopers, Gamorrean Retainers, but both of these decks really want to get to their 5+ plays. So I think it's if Loopee can ramp and get to those early, then he can have a good shot of dominating that mid game. And then if Phil can stabilize and get to his Lukes and his 2 Zillow Beasts in the main, then I think he may be able to come out with this. So
yeah,
we'll have to see how much of an advantage Loopee can get early.
I also think with
starting with the Gamorrean Retainer,
with this kind of matchup, Mulligan might not even be that you don't necessarily have a first turn play or something like that. You could be digging for that resupply or something that you think is really critical in that matchup.
Exactly.
All right, so
R2 from Phil notably does not die to the 3/2 Gamorrean Retainer.
And Loopee claims initiative here. We got Tada saying Loopee needs to get one so Late Night doesn't get blamed. Yeah. Look,
that's fair. Late Night has put in some good performances. They got some underperforming leaders, I would say. So they got behind the 8 ball a little bit based on the draft format that we did, in at least some of the games for sure.
Yeah, I mean, this is all for fun, really. We're just getting out here with new leaders. That's what I'm most excited about. We're testing these new leaders and putting them through the ringer here on these streams. I imagine he's going to base. Yep, so 3 to base. Phil on 3. We're not going to be able to see Phil's life total as well. We'll try to call it out a little better.
Just double checking if my stream is my stream is delayed. Okay, cool. I had the stream pulled up and I couldn't see them playing the game on stream, but that was a me thing, not a you thing, so we're good.
Yep, we're good. All right. Getting that season shore trooper.
The season shore trooper down. Really, really solid in ramp decks. He kind of fell off a little bit in set 1, but he always had his place as just a guy that eventually has 4 attack as a turn 1 play if you want it, and he's not terrible late, and especially with Maul giving him overwhelm to go over a bunch of little sentinels. I don't hate that guy at all.
Yeah, we don't have resupply in Loopee's list. He's just on the SLT, so he's not going to ramp too hard.
Yeah, that's true. Phil's on the resupply, Loopee's on the SLT, so they agreed to split those. Yeah. Nobody can have all the ramp.
Ramping like gentlemen.
Exactly. Is that what unit is that next to Arch? Is that the Sindari Peacekeeper?
That's correct. Yeah, Sindari Peacekeeper.
Yeah, so that is the 1/5 Raid 2 Restore 2 Mandalorian Trooper.
I'm looking forward to seeing Obi-Wan do some heals. I want to see it matter.
Well, I mean, he's got 9 health and 2 units out, so it's definitely possible. And Loopee's got a Sentinel, so it looks like the Sindari Peacekeeper got run into by the Gamorrean Retainer.
So here is one where Phil could heal it, so the Shore Trooper doesn't kill it.
Yeah, and the heal matters a lot, because otherwise the Shore Trooper could kill the Peacekeeper, and now he can't.
Yeah.
So it definitely Well, now
There was a
Loopee
plan.
dropping the Fallen Lightsaber onto the Seasoned Shore Trooper. So this Shore Trooper is leveling up quick, fast, and in a hurry.
It dies to fell the dragon right now, right?
Yeah, of course. The Shore Trooper is always a dragon.
well, I'm just saying, Phil has his 4 resources. That's a risky play.
It is, but it's also the kind of thing where you need to get the fells out of the hand, right? Like you just because you don't want him to fell your Maul unit, you don't want him to fell your Vaders, you don't want him to. So
yeah,
I think you just got to go for it. And if he's only got 3 fells, now he's only got 2 fells.
He's doing it. He's doing it.
Yeah, the dragon has been taken care of. The Fallen Lightsaber is down. Like I was saying, it's always a risk with putting lightsabers on early units against these blue decks. But I don't think it's the end of the world for Loopee if he can get back soon. If he has a Maul unit next turn, Maul unit would be disgusting here.
Right.
If he comes out soon.
So with ECL, it's a 5/6. It would kill both of these units and only have 2 damage on it.
Correct. So that's the thing about the Sundari Peacekeeper. It has raid 2, so it attacks for 3, but it's only a 1/5 when you get hit by it. So Maul could easily clean up R2 plus the Peacekeeper. Bring us back to level playing field.
I do have the chat pulled up. If you guys have any comments during the match, I'll try to sneak them into the video here.
Yeah, I agree with Chris that Late Night had a Padme-shaped anchor. We were trying internally to see what good Padme deck could get going, and we didn't find one.
Well, there it is. There
it is. ECL Maul unit. This is exactly what this deck wants to do. Have Maul murder everything and still be alive.
This is pretty scary.
The biggest knock on Maul when he was revealed and when his ability was said what it meant was that he's just going to die. Like, oh, you ECL him and kill 2 things and he dies. But against these kind of units, that doesn't happen.
This is what I was looking for. I was looking for this because now he can flip and finish off that Maul.
Yeah.
And he might be okay with the sports state. ECL's burned. Obi's probably going to be okay for a minute after this trade. I assume he's going to take out that Maul unit.
You would think so. Because the threat of another Saber, I think, is too big. Yeah. Because Loopee already had initiative anyway, so if he just drops Saber on initiative, I think you're in a lot of trouble there. Now, the Obi heal is live. Obi has 5 damage on him.
We've got ramp for Phil, so now if he has a Luke in his hand, he's got the option. We know that Maul's going to come out for Loopee. We've got 1 on Phil's base, 4 on Loopee's base.
Yeah, and Loopee's in a tough spot right now. There's a lot of things Phil could have, and the biggest answer that Red Green Villain wants to do is something like an overwhelming barrage, which they can't do with no units out.
Oh, this is great.
That is a really good start. Killing Obi before he attacks is huge.
That was perfect. Yeah, because even when he flips Maul, there's a chance it just gets Rivals Falled immediately.
Exactly. And Ruthless Raider, not a dragon, cannot be felled. Could get taken out with a Luke if he has one. But I think if that happens, then Loopee's still okay because that means his Maul leader gets to deploy.
He's using his action.
Luke can only kill one of those things.
Using his action to dirtle without passing.
Yes. He wants the soft pass, but he can't afford to have Phil claim here. And there is the Luke.
Yeah.
So now, since he did the soft pass, it is a little bit awkward because if he deploys, Phil can just claim and swing into the Maul with Luke. I know he doesn't want his Maul leader to die, and Luke is really bad for him either way. Maybe it could have been better to flip instead of activating Maul to soft pass. But I'm not sure. I think either way, you're in a bit of trouble if Phil has the Luke.
I think he might just trade into the Luke, and that leaves them battling their end games against each other. Let's see though. Okay, he's not.
Well, Luke is a 6/7, so Luke cleanly answers Maul and has 1 HP left. Maul's a 6/6.
No, Luke took 2 damage from the.
From the Raider dying. You are 100. Yeah. Sorry, apologies. 100%. Yeah, the Raider dying dealt 2 to the Luke.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is not as bad for Loopee as I made it sound.
He had the option
because reading the card explains the card, and yeah, Ruthless Raider hit Luke, so now they would trade. I think I like taking the value trade of the Battlefield Marine, because now it's up to Phil if he still wants to trade, or if you want to leave the small leader around with the looming threat of overwhelming barrage or anything like that. So you make Phil do the work for you potentially.
Yeah, I think now he's gonna kill the Maul and still have a Luke on the table, though. That's the part I don't like about it.
Yeah, it's risky. It's risky.
This is probably a Riken coming in, or just
ECLing in a Riken would be really dirty. Oh, that's what it is.
there
Yeah.
it is.
So it's another unit that's going to take out Maul and live. And
Chris pointing out
we'll have
that
to see who he gives Sentinel. Okay, so it looks like he gave Sentinel to Luke twice,
to give him a counter.
so Luke gets an experience and is a Sentinel for this phase. So the way General Riken works when he ECLs is he says when played and on attack, make a unit a Sentinel, and if that unit already is a Sentinel, it gets an experience counter. So when you ECL him in, you can pick the same unit for the when played and the on attack, so you get to pick a unit to give an experience to, which can be himself.
This is pretty nice, because if he had put the experience on Riken, however you say it, I don't know, it would have still
died.
Luke,
it looks like.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm saying it would have still died.
He played around the Ruthless Raider very well by putting the experience on his Luke instead of the Riken. And I don't know how to say it either. I could be saying it wrong.
I don't know who claimed here, because he did have the heal available. If Loopee claimed, I would have expected Phil to take some health off, heal that Luke a little bit.
Mm-hmm. So we've got another Raider out.
Carlos pointing out that Loopee seems to have played the card now. There are 7 of them. With all those Mauls on the table.
Well, Phil, rather than the Maul sleeves, has the Ray sleeves. So that was, I'm sure, for Chris Schutz's benefit.
So we got 6 damage. Okay, so that heal, he's at 8. 1. So if he had healed, he would have been alive.
Yeah.
He would have been alive.
If he had healed, Luke would have lived with 1 health left.
Yeah, that would have been big.
So, yeah, it's a big turning point for sure. We'll have to see what he gets off of this, but any space unit that he gets is in danger from this Ruthless Raider that has 6 attack.
Are we missing something? Was that wasn't the turn that Obi died, right?
I don't believe so.
I'm like, why didn't he heal? I'm trying to figure that out.
No, Obi died earlier.
Okay. Yeah. That's unfortunate.
Obi died to the first Ruthless Raider play because he had 2 health left.
Yeah, that would have been nice. All right, so Raider now a 0/2 will die at the end of the phase, finding that Luke off of Ewing reinforcements.
Yeah, and that's obviously not a bad hit. It's probably better than swarming the board at this point. Take their 1 unit off the board and leave yourself with a giant beater. I think Phil has 7 damage on his base right now. Loopee has 14.
Loopee claimed.
But that Luke is going to start healing. Healing a lot for Phil.
Yep, going to the next turn. Yeah, that was nice because Loopee had spent really all his resources for that turn.
Yeah, it's been tough. Honestly, ever since the Fell the Dragon that Phil played early, it feels like Loopee's been on the back foot trying to get back. And side note, the Ruthless Raider does not die.
I realized
+2
that
from Barrage falls off at the same time as the minus from Luke. So the Ruthless Raider stays alive.
Yep.
So Loopee may be turning a corner here. There's still a Luke on the board, so that's hard to say. We'll have to see if this Kylo lives. He's close to just being dead to Luke attacks. And this is where it's interesting. Loopee's list is not running any timely reinforcements, so he does not have any way to give ambush outside of Energy Conversion Lab. So he doesn't have the option of timelying in that Kylo to kill the Luke.
14 on Loopee's base, 7 on Phil's base. Is he gonna go base? Bring him to 20. Yes. Restore 3.
So now Loopee's in check. He's got to deal with this Luke. He has the way on board to deal with it with the Kylo out, but Phil hasn't spent his resources yet. Oh, that's a Zillow beast.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Okay, I'm looking at Loopee's list. I don't see anything, brother. Yeah,
What can you do against the Zillow Beast?
Yeah. He can drop a Sentinel, have it die to an attack, drop another Sentinel, have it die to an attack.
That would work if he does have he has phase 3 Dark Trooper as his Sentinels in his
I
list because he
know.
only needs one Sentinel. Well, no, he does need two. Looks like he's scooping it up because
Yeah.
the Kylo could attack in and kill the Luke, but cannot attack in to kill the Zillow Beast. So even if he had
Ooh.
one Sentinel, as long as Phil attacks with the Luke first, Kylo couldn't take out the other unit.
Wow, this is a good matchup.
Yeah, I think
back.
Loopee fought hard. It was always tough for him the way the removal spells panned out. It was hard for him to keep a unit on board, which is just the way some of these mid-range games go against Blue Hero, especially when we know Phil's on a full 3 copies of Fel the Dragon, 2 Rivals Falls, 3 Lukes. There's a lot of removal coming out of Phil's deck.
Yeah, while they shuffle up, let's take a look at this. I'm gonna keep an eye on their game boards. What do you think we're looking for out of the sideboard from Phil?
That's a good question. I think the spice in Phil's sideboard is evidence of the crime. So it's a 3-cost trick that says take control of an upgrade that costs 3 or less and attach it to an eligible unit of your choice, which means he could take a fallen lightsaber and put it on his force unit where the force trait still works.
Yeah. So we
and
might.
So I
might
really
see
hope
that.
he brings that in.
I hope so too.
He knows that Loopy's playing the full play set of the lightsabers.
So is he gonna bring in any of the rest of this? Could bring in the ship here. What's the name of this ship?
The Bright Hope or the Obi-Wan's Aether Sprite?
The Aether Sprite, because that would
the Aether Sprite is really good at killing Ruthless Raiders. That's kind of its job. I don't know if you want to bring it in just for that. There's not a ton of space in Loopy's deck.
He's got Kylo's Tie, Disabling Fang Fighter, and then the one that stops healing.
I wouldn't be surprised if Loopy sides out the Disabling Fang Fighters because he knows Phil isn't running a lot of upgrades.
Yeah, we don't have the lightsabers. Yep.
Loopy, it does have 2 timely interventions in his sideboard. I would like those to come in because I think ambushing, especially like his Kylo Rens and his Maul units, is one of the ways that he can kind of turn the corner in these games. So I'd like to see him bring those in.
Yeah, what else do we see from Loopy? So if the Fang Fighters come out, anything else come out in this matchup?
Force Choke is an interesting one, but it doesn't have a lot of really good targets. Most of Phil's stuff has a lot of health, or is a vehicle. You've got Zillow Beast at 10, Luke at 7.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I would bring in the Force Chokes or not. They can still be good. Phil plays a unit, kills a guy, has a couple of damage on it, and Force Choke gets good. But I'm not sure. That's a tricky one.
We're shuffling up here. Let's see if we can get a game 3. I want to see it.
Yeah. Golden Dice Podcast says Phil has to step up and get the Obi sleeves. He actually told us before this. He tried to find them everywhere and couldn't, so he had to go with the Rey sleeves.
Yeah. I know Phil loves his Rey deck. He loves his Luke decks. Phil is piloting for Bothan Network in this matchup because he's been such a strong blue-green player.
Yeah, this has always been his thing, is the blue hero and blue-green hero. And that's a really good point too, Chris. That's why I'm kind of nervous about the Force Chokes. Chris says he might not want to give Phil card draw, which is a real cost. And that's why I don't think I would bring in the Force Chokes. They don't cleanly answer anything on their own, and you give up card draw. I think it's too big of a cost, but we'll see if Loopy agrees.
Yeah, be interesting to know afterwards what their sideboarding was. Redemption. Yeah, I agree with you. I hope we get to see a lightsaber stolen just to.
Dude, I want that. That's what I want out of
yeah.
this game right now. I want to see evidence of the crime played.
Yep. Let's see it.
Game 1 was won by Phil on Obi.
It was close. He put him in check with
it was
a Luke attack right at the end.
Yeah, Loopee fought hard. He kept trying to turn the corner, and Phil just kept having the answers.
We expected this to be a good matchup, and so far it's not disappointing.
Definitely, I think these are two very useful leaders that have a place somewhere in the meta, and they're two leaders that we didn't see any of in any of the SCG Columbus coverage. So it's kind of interesting to get to see them here now.
All right, starting off in space for Loopee. That should add up some damage over the next few turns, I think, because I don't expect Phil to answer that very cleanly right now.
Yeah. Phil could have Restored Arc, could have Republic Arc next turn, but he has a very low number of spaceships total, so it's kind of up to the luck gods as to whether or not he gets a space unit.
Yeah, we'll see. So he starts with the 3-2 ambush with coordinate.
Mm-hmm.
So we got 3-2s on each side, different
3
arenas.
2s in each arena.
Yep. Only one player has their Pokemon summoned.
Loopee starts by going to base, makes sense. Wouldn't be surprised to see Phil do the same thing. Oh, Mon Mothma.
Yeah, let's see what we find here. And then, is he going to have something for that one resource? What's he got in the list? He's got an R2. So we might see an R2
two copies
here.
of R2, and those are his only one resource plays, so unlikely that he'll be able to use it, but he could have one of his R2s.
Yeah, he might.
Finds a Luke, so that's something Loopee is going to keep in the back of his mind for a few more turns now.
Oh, yeah. He knows it's coming. All right. So it's a 3-3 Sentinel. Gains an experience if it survives combat. I think Phil's probably going to trade into it here.
Yeah. The Phase 3 Dark Trooper is another one that's really interesting with Energy Conversion Lab, because something you can do is you can ambush it into, for example, the 1/3 Mon Mothma. He lives and gets an experience. In this particular instance, it would still die to the Trooper crackback,
Yeah.
which is why Loopee didn't do it. But just in general, that's one of the things that I like about that card is there are a lot of fun lines you can do with it.
Yeah.
Like that.
And Phil did not have the R2, so that was a relatively weak 3 resource turn from Phil.
Yeah.
I mean, he found a Luke, so
he found a Luke.
Yeah,
so his 3 resource turn was setting up for the late game.
Yeah.
Loopee I think Loopee really needs to start piling in the damage. He really needs to get Phil on the back foot early and mid.
And he may.
Once the Lukes and the Zillabees come out.
6-0 right now.
Yeah. He's getting in the damage for sure.
Loopee kind of skips 4 in his deck, so he's not going to be playing a 4-drop. So 3 and a 1 or 2 2s this turn is what we can expect to see. Okay, that's nice. He brought in the Bright Hopes. Oh no!
Interesting.
Loopee didn't have a play.
Oh wow, no plays. Well, that
and we threw
does
a Bright
not fit
Hope
the
in
theme
front of
of piling on the pressure that I was hoping for from him.
Oh no, Loopee, not like this.
Yeah.
Oh, what did he have? All big stuff. It's gotta be all big stuff. So, and then even when we get to 5, it's Overwhelming Barrage and Darth Maul. So, we're expecting one of those 2 cards here, given that he did not.
Barrage, not super good at the moment.
Well, I wonder what he drew, because this puts him back down to 4 resources.
Death Star Stormtrooper now, so he had to have just drawn that, because obviously he could have played it last turn.
Yeah. And hopefully he drew one of his 3s or a 2 to have another play this turn. So I think that means we've got Vaders, Mauls, Dooku's, Kylos clogging up the hand right now.
It could be, but he didn't play any of the 5s right now, opting for the Stormtrooper instead.
Dooku.
So maybe that means he drew a Stormtrooper and a 3 or 4 drop that he wants to play.
Killing that silencer also stops Dooku from hitting the table this turn. So that was...
Oh, okay. Stormtrooper
nice.
plus lightsaber. That's not bad, because I like it when decks that care about their leader, like this Maul deck does, I like it when you can get out a big threat the turn before you flip. Because you make your opponent say, well, that removal spell that you have that you're trying to save for my leader, you may need to kill this 6/4 that I just put in. And he does. He felled the dragons, which wouldn't have worked on Maul leader anyway, but still,
Yeah.
get the removal spells out of the hand.
He's gonna use the one that says non-leader.
Exactly. But both players still have their energy conversion labs up, so I would expect Loopee to have another big unit this turn as well.
Another thing going for Loopee here is he doesn't have any damage on his base. So he kind of skips some turns here, but we know he's got lots of top end and he's coming into it now.
Yeah. Phil's still at 6. I really think Loopee needs this needs to be a good turn for Loopee. We know that Phil has a Luke for next turn. We need to see how much damage he can get in this turn onto Phil's base.
Yeah, I'm expecting an ECL Riken from Phil. We'll see. Or a Rival's Fall. We'll see what happens there.
Rival's Fall would be really bad for Loopee because then he has to act next. He probably wants to ECL in something.
Okay.
Perilous Position.
Okay. So
AKA the best card in set 3. Getting played right now on the Maul leader.
It might be. We do love it. So Maul's now at 4/4 overwhelm.
Maul is now at 4/4, is exhausted for this turn, and now free to pretty much anything Phil might want to ECL into it at a later date.
Could still have the Fang Fighters. We don't know.
Well, Phil is ECLing, so this is going to be Space Unit Ruthless Raider. Okay, so he's going to take out the Bright Hope to Phil's base.
Yep.
I like this ECL because it's not dealing with OB leader, but it's telling Phil, hey, you can't just ignore space. I'm going to be piling damage over here every turn. You've got to do something. And I think that's important for Loopee.
Did Phil put too much damage on his base? I think he did.
It should have been 2.
Anyone on stream notice? Let us know in chat if you think you did. All right, so Obi's going to be able to take out the Maul.
Yeah, so Obi can take out Maul here. He was punished for that last time, so it could be the same thing again, where the other benefit of having this Ruthless Raider is it's a unit that he can just put Overwhelming Barrage on, which would let him finish off the Obi leader.
He also had open fires in the sideboard that could have come in.
Mm-hmm.
And his ambushers can't get past the Sentinel, so I think that's what we're looking for here from Loopee, barrage or an open fire.
Yeah, it depends on what else is in his hand too, especially if it's open fire, because you want to try to use your resources, especially in a turn where you know Luke could be coming down. So if he doesn't have another 3 or a 3 resource play to go with an open fire, it could be awkward. Attacks in with the Ruthless Raiders. This makes me think he doesn't have something to kill Obi, because Obi can just attack now and heal himself for 1, making himself harder to kill.
Yeah, which he's going to do.
Pings the Ruthless Raider for 1. The other thing that this does is this now means that Luke can kill the Ruthless Raider even if nothing on Phil's side dies, because now the Ruthless Raider's at 3 damage.
Okay, Dooku.
Oh, I love this. So Phil is playing the new Count Dooku with Exploit. This is one of the combos that was first thought about when this card was revealed. So you exploit a unit, and then deal damage to a unit equal to the exploited unit's power. So when you exploit a Ruthless Raider, Dooku says, okay, I come down cheaper, I get to put 4 damage on something, and then Ruthless Raiders, when defeated, happens and says, hey, 2 more damage. So that was 2 to Phil's base, ping the shield off the village people, and kill Obi-Wan. All with the Dooku exploited out.
Generally, I think Phil's mostly okay with this. But we've only got 1 Maul in Loopee's list to come kill that.
Yeah, only 1 7-cost Maul.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. My bad. Yeah.
I was kind of surprised by that. I like Maul a lot. I like 7-cost Maul, the 7/6 Overwhelm unit, a lot because of things like Luke. But right now Luke's hiding behind the village protectors anyway. Yeah. So anything that gets ambushed in would have to go through them first.
He's He's got a lot of damage. I think he needs to find a way to get back in space to close the game out. But even then, with Luke attacking every turn, that's a tough clock.
Either get back in space or get a big enough unit that he can overwhelming barrage. The Seasoned Shore Trooper is a 4/3 now because he has 6 resources. Kanan Jarrus the play for Phil.
With ECL.
Oh, the Kanan Jarrus was ECL'd in to kill the Seasoned Shore Trooper. Okay.
Get a little bit of healing.
Ooh, lost the Force Lightning. That is a beautiful Force Lightning, though. That looks like a Hyperfoil Force Lightning.
It is a pretty Hyperfoil. I do have one myself.
He plays the Maul unit, but that can just die to the Luke attack. Yeah. So, or it can get felled like a dragon.
Phil, we wanted a captain's match. What do we do? Can somebody back channel Phil and get him to throw this match?
Well, this is always the hard part. It's like we were saying before. Loopee got off to a good early lead, but skipping the 4 resource turn was really rough. And I just think he needed to get a little bit more damage in the early game before these big guys came out, so that he could try to be looking at closing out the game instead of looking at stabilizing the board.
Yeah, we saw 16 damage on Phil's base just now. If we didn't miss those really 2 turns that were kind of a miss, we could have a lot more damage on that base.
Yeah. Oh, he's showing us the other Force Lightning. That's nice.
Well, we're gonna ECL this boy in.
Was that a timely reinforcement from the resource?
Oh, was it a timely? Okay.
Because I thought he already ECL'd the.
Yeah, my bad. The Ruthless Raider.
Yeah, he ECL'd the Ruthless Raider, I thought, this game.
He did, to kill the Bright Hope.
Okay. So yeah, it's the Phase 3 Dark Trooper, which gets 1 experience, gets taken out by Kanan. Loopee gets to heal, or Phil gets to heal 2 more. The Confederate Tri-Fighter that just got milled was another interesting one, because that could have been huge in with Kanan and Luke trying to heal to stop the bleeding.
And now Kanan's right back with home 1, and that should end the game, right?
Looks
the
like
Luke attack. Yeah. All
yeah.
right.
Yeah, double barrage in hand for Loopee, but couldn't get a unit to stay. That's I feel like that's a lot of what happens with red-green villain into blue-green or blue-red hero, where you're just trying to get a unit to stay on the board, and it's so hard. That's where the Vaders would have come in, which obviously Loopee agrees. He's he is angry at his deck right now, trying to find out where his Darth Vaders were, because obviously that adds 2 units to the board, so it makes it a lot easier to stick a barrage. But yeah, that was a really good showing from Phil.
I don't have the upgraded graphics, but that's going to bring it to 076.
Yes, 076. So Loopee missed out on the chance to get late night gaming on the board.
We missed out on the
games.
Captain's match. Hopefully we do this again next set. I love it. I hope we do it again. One thing we pointed out, we weren't able to use all the leaders. So, get one more team of 4 people. Next set comes out. If you got a team of 4 people, you want to join us for this, reach out. Let's see what we can do. We'll use all the leaders next set. Do this again. Very exciting. Lots of fun. Let me see if I can get these boys in here.
Yeah, we'll see if we can get Loopee.
You guys want to jump up here real quick to close it out?
Yeah, we can.
Sure. Right.
Because also, I don't know how to close out a stream.
Yeah.
Well, they're coming in. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out with us in chat.
Welcome, boys. Welcome.
Welcome, boys. Hello. Hello there, I should say, as Obi-Wan.
Hello.
Good match.
If you're Mr. Obi.
All right, so Loopee, we close this out at 076. You wanna give some closing remarks before we end the stream?
Well, I really like the show match. I mean, the results scoreboard wise were not great. I was hoping to force a tiebreaker.
That would have been fun.
But
yeah,
heart of the cards isn't there. I mean, I don't think you win if they draw Luke and you don't draw Vader. I mean, those are the 2 cards that have to go against it. So I was heavy on Overwhelming Barrage in both of the games, but I never had anything. I couldn't get a board presence to use it without Vader.
That's always the hard part about the blue hero shells for a red-green villain. I think is getting a unit to stick long enough to put a barrage on it.
Yeah, and I mean it's particularly tough with Maul as opposed to Vader, which is a similar leader. But Maul unfortunately dies to Luke, so I mean it's very difficult to sequence because the -6 can hit him.
So I was saying, Loopee, before you jumped in, it would be really exciting to have one more team next time we do this next set, so we can use all the leaders. Do you have anything else to add as we close out just the show match series in general?
No, I think that's the plan, and hopefully we'll do this set 4.
Yep. All right. So I don't have the updated graphics, but we're ending on 076. Thanks everybody. Thanks for tuning in.